Absolutely. OpTic just leaning in to the neon comps that they've been running at the beginning of the year. They started leading the meta, one could say, in terms of this comp specifically, minus the Omen on Fracture, something that they were going crazy with. They've been adding it on Haven. They've been adding on Split. Now, with the Jet nerf too, looks like they want to do the exact same thing on Ascent.
FaZe starting off on the attacking side here on Ascent. We've talked a lot about the dynamic duo that is Baby Bay and Dicey and how much impact they can find. I think it's I was about to say it's always interesting to watch Baby Bay on pistols in particular because he's been an absolute fiend in this stage, but alas, that's already been neutered.
And the thing about that dart really didn't give him a hint as to what was happening because Victor from way up top able to break that and just going straight again. Dry. Dicey just walks out.
Almost
that is super nice. They expect that alarm bot's gonna actually do some work, but now Marv is left in a tough spot.
Seems to be okay in these tough spots as he gets 3 on the round, and Ye with the suppressive fire over the top cleans things up for OpTic as they take the pistol.
That looked like it was gonna go terribly for them, given that Crashage just dies with nothing, relying on that trademark, as I said, and that's dangerous to be doing against FaZe. Like 2 players here. Number 1, Ye was actually hidden behind the smoke. It wasn't even Victor breaking the dart to give Baby Bay that false confidence. And then Marv just locks it down. Look at the position of FNS right there. This is the power of Breach on this map. He could reach such long distances.
Yeah, yep.
He was all the way back in spawn when that fault line's coming out.
There's another fault line. Gonna push things off at least towards A main at the very beginning. But otherwise quiet on most fronts. Do they expect Ye here?
Fight's going on the other side of the map at the same time though. And there was a trap set up.
They did not expect Ye. He was only able to get 1.
They're really just not winning on either side here. Yeah. It's just pistols, but really good stuff from OpTic. Number 1, to push on both sides at the same time. Not usually something that's happening, but also just to have that trap set up inside of A main. And again, this lane is just locked down because of the breach. Finesse, the fault line. It can't get in there without using a lot of utility. And even then, they have to wait for that to go off.
I got the spike.
Felt like FaZe poked and prodded for really the majority of that round, trying to get to A main,
30
as you were
seconds
saying,
left.
Bala, but never really came to fruition. And now, after realizing, well, we can't go that way.
This is still really
this way
doable. It's
works.
only a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, but it's got to be off of a big kill here, right?
Sure does.
Dicey only 2 bullets left in the headhunter, 10 seconds left in the round. You've got Finesse and Marv in a really good position. Marv takes care of Poised. Dicey meets the same fate. OpTic up 2-0 early.
And it was a situation that could have gotten really bad for OpTic, but I love the way that they play that, right? They spot that the push is coming through tree, and Marv just falls back to A main. Just really, really good stuff where they have a crossfire then set up between Chen, which is FNS, and Marv inside of A main. So now it's the gun round. The approach so far from FaZe, been poking on both sides. Same thing though for OpTic. Get somewhere, 2 places essentially, deep on the map.
Again, Finesse seems to find himself right place at the right time. Bodes well for OpTic fans if he can continue to control things here.
We've got a double flash set up here. Finesse is going to go for it again. And the second pop flash from Crashage.
Called it, but the Cod Burst provides a little bit of cover, just enough to keep them at bay for now. The Trailblazer going to swing back out, reestablish some control. Oh, the nade simming on all 3 of them. That can't feel good. Yay, still in market.
Oh!
So you see Victor going. That's vintage Victor these days. The fast lane ultimately provides a kill. Zia gets a second.
Spike planted.
And Victor got to safety too, all the way back in spawn. So now all 3, they still have control of this boathouse.
Take this. Go, go, go.
To give so much. You can work with here, but one of those pieces falls. The second one does too. Ye with 71 HP in this 1v2. This is weak. And Ye's not going to do it this time around. It was close. Probably closer than they would have liked. But FaZe get the 3rd round.
That recovery, though, from OpTic is scary. To see them be able to use the high gear, just get out there really fast, control still the space that they lost. And that was because of that double flash setup did not go well. Finesse got picked immediately as he tried to flash for Crashies. And then Baby Bay also reacted very well, too. Blocked the flash entirely from Crashies. And it's interesting, too, because what they were doing there was they set up Crashies. He threw a knife all the way to A main. They set it up so that Crashies was not going to be there, but FaZe still reacting in the right way.
Scout destroyed.
Sort of force use from Ye early on. Crashies with a ghost. Dicey with a bullet between his eyes.
Oh. Baby Bay taking the time, though, really, to trade that back, getting Victor off the angle. And look, Ye's actually explored a little bit. Marv is actually TPing for info all the way back. Are they falling from A main? Yes, they are.
Yeah, but where do they go from here? You've got Ye holding down Cat. You have an alarm bot mid towards market if for some reason Ye gets pushed off that angle.
Take flight.
Still 45 seconds here. This drone actually does pull off Finesse a little bit, but again, such range, and he has his fault line up, but he's going all the way back towards that B side.
Oh, and it wasn't just the drone, too. Crashies hit a knife that tagged
30 seconds
Poach,
left.
so at least they saw that, but that's all they saw. Hits coming out onto A. You see the gravity well just a bit off, and Marv does not, as he's gotten 3 on the round already. Trying to anchor things down in hell, and he's doing a damn good job of it. He's already gotten forward. 13 seconds left. Poach left with the unenviable task of trying to bring this thing back. He's not going to be able to do it. OpTic up 3-1 early on here.
Great stuff there. Again, from Marv on that A side. So far, it feels like it's locked down. The combination of him with the flash and Ye as well with the tour de force, immediately getting a kill there and locking down with the slow field. Just very nice stuff. And you call the knife as well in the middle of that round, canceling Poach's drone and also getting the info that there's nobody else tiles. However, I think they didn't really necessarily rotate off of that because when you're knifing tiles, they could already be up mid with that drone. So they're not necessarily going to be in that radius. And OpTic is switching things up almost every single round. Different players on different sides of the map. Finesse is the only constant over towards that B site, but we've also seen him towards Wine.
Yeah, it's been a bit all over the place. 3 pistols in tow for FaZe here. Dicey has the tour de force. Baby Bay, the only one with a rifle. A relatively quiet start for FaZe.
I did like that segment that ended on the desk did about the defaults that FaZe do. A lot of times they're not supporting Baby Bay in the way that they are right now. In that match that they showed, oftentimes both boys. Nice pick again from Dicey. He's just really pushing the pace, clearing.
He didn't account for Marv. Paranoia there as he's going to get a second. The guy's on pace for dropping 40 on this map. It cleans up 2 there, but Marv ended up getting 3 on the round.
And you're seeing OpTic really start to recognize, sure, Victor goes down. A little bit unaware from him coming out of tree. Or out of A main when Dicey was pushing tree. It's great scaling from him, but again, there's always something else. There's a fault line for Marv to peek into, and then the paranoid to delay. Oh, Poised. Poised had a chance. Marv was out in the open. And this round, Ye wants to go exploring on the other. The B main side this time. He tucked himself in the corner early on, but that's something that's lovely, right? The fault line, and you always guarantee yourself this position.
And this will be the second time Ye's caused problems from this spot. I wonder if, fool me once, I get the saying wrong every time, but you get the idea. Surely you expect him there.
All right, George Bush.
he is. Oh, the Trailblazers is going to give the spot away. They swing out, and he somehow just narrowly gets away with his life.
He didn't actually TP there either. So that's still active for him, and he's going to try to work a pick with it.
Oh, 5 HP, and he gets... Oh, I thought he got away. It looked like he went through, but no. Dicey cleans him up at the end.
Maybe back to working the rest of the map. He's going to make some noise over. Superman has his ult as well. This could serve as both actually hitting B and a fake towards A, but no, it's just completely towards the B side as they work a pick on Cat.
Where are they going to go with the spike? It seems like it's still a bit unawares as they try to apply pressure on multiple fronts. Now the spike making its way in towards B. Got Dicey in a pretty good spot, but he's weak here. Ult out from Marv.
Spike planted.
Oh, and they can approach this from multiple fronts now. The bush feels a little bit disjointed. Remember, you've got Dicey in a pocket. He's only able to take one. 3v2 in favor of FaZe here. Gotta be careful because Superman's on the flank and he's right behind him. He's gonna spot one head. Oh no. That's alright, that never happened. See it. 2v2 still left. Crashies falls. It's all onto Marv. Marv, who's been almost automatic up until this point. And the bullets just were not landing in that instance. FaZe get to 2.
And that's all because actually that double fake is enabled because Ye goes down early. And because of that, their trademark that's on the side of B main that they walk out with past the Cosmic Divide does not go off. So all this time, while this fight is going on for Baby Bay, and he's doing a really fantastic job with Poach to sell that fake, they're not getting confirmation that the fake is actually going on. So they get on site for free, and then Superman's also there to fall back on the flank the second time.
Operator in the hands of Ye holding down B with Finesse close by. No action on that side of the map, at least yet. It's a Blade Storm for Baby Bay.
Flash setup.
Oh! He had a shot at it, and there was the flash too. Pushes him back. Marv's able to reposition. I thought he was going to be able to get away to safety.
Down mid.
That's all right. Crashies is going to clean everything up.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, I think he meant to actually dash there, man.
Stay down.
Oh, that's actually...
See, it was Crashies who cleaned everything up at the end of the day.
Consistent high-low there as well.
Yeah.
In front of the smoke. And Victor tries to chase it down, but I think either didn't dash by accident or his teammates called it off. But still, the first contact there was Baby Bay with his knives. He had a good opportunity. Then that moment too, Poise is really slow to swing. Which is interesting because that's, in my opinion, one of the reasons why Wise was so good. Was that chemistry between all the different players. Poise specifically was so good at staying close to his teammates.
Look at this buy out from FaZe. Baby Bay and Dicey, the only two with rifles. They're both the tip of the spear towards B here. Just like that, info gathered. Baby Bay takes damage, has to get pushed off.
Healed right back though, and they're dude, spotted this entire time. So that's just a free kill again.
And that one almost looked free too. Superman has picked up the rifle that was previously dropped by Dicey. Baby Bay is in a much more precarious spot.
They didn't have much utility to actually bring into this round.
Yeah.
But both of those peaks, with 2 of the rifles that they brought in out of 3, completely dry. Oh, that's a nasty flick.
One enemy remaining. Spike down
Oh, he stunned
mid.
him with his own cock right there. And just went for it. I think he
30
saw a
seconds
shoulder or
left.
something like that. Now Spike's gone, so Poach has no chance.
This has, Bala, this has the potential or the hints of getting out of hand here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it's not just in the score. I think it in my opinion, it seems like OpTic really feel like they've been a page ahead of FaZe the entire way, and now the Prime Gaming Flawless coming through to secure the 8th round really just kind of reinforces that.
Yeah. Prime Gaming Flawless off of Ye to start. Right? Those first 2 kills that I was talking about, full dry from Baby Bay.
Yeah.
And Dicey. A dirty flick, too.
Yeah, boys had a chance at that one.
Remaining.
Superman did not on the other side. You're right, though. I do feel like it's seeming like OpTic has full control. They understand how FaZe is trying to approach the picks, and you could see it in the scoreline as well. Something that's interesting is, as the Deaths touched on the veto as well, FaZe choosing to go towards Ascent that has been kind of the pick that they've been choosing against all their open qualifier opponents, but against OpTic, that has to have a question mark, right?
Well, but on the counter to that, Ball, is they struggled so much on the international stage on this map. They had domestic dominance all day, but hop on a plane to Iceland and it's like they forgot how to play the map. They really struggled on Ascent
At the beginning, yes. But in the grand finals, it was great, and I think they've improved so many times on this map. And now they're bringing a new comp too, and you have to kind of expect that OpTic is going to continue to lean into what brought them success in Stage 1, what brought them a championship in Stage 1. And then the other thing too is they banned Bind instead of going for what seems to be their perma so far this season, which was Fracture. So that's the type of thing that FaZe, it scares me for the series.
And if that's not scary enough, it's been a very pedestrian 26-6 start from Ye and Marv combined. So across 8 rounds, sure, why not?
Okay. Nice smoke.
Ye with the Ock, he's gonna get flashed up, able to teleport away, and FaZe take the space. As he's able to take care of Crashies early on, and that's really the only bit of resistance that remained on the site.
Interesting that they go fast, and Ye's not there to actually receive in mid, but she has been in some cases. And they get the split on perfectly and use an execute to actually get out rather than trying to dry swing through. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Number one, what we've seen so far has just been dry peaks, and number two, you're going up against the best team in the world potentially.
Victor has ult. I see on the flank. We saw Superman in this position just a couple of rounds ago, and it wasn't very pretty to look at all. Dicey finds a bit more success before Ye stuffs that. He's gotten one with the Headhunter and now the Operator. Spike ticking away, though, and they're still outnumbered. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try to play Nexus here, do as much damage as they can.
Finesse can survive in the pocket, too.
FaZe may not.
But they wipe all the money out completely. And on a reset economically, too, so actually still could scrape together a buy. We've already seen them go for 3 guns in this situation, and Dicey has his tour de force too, so economically, yes, this comp's still thriving. Not something that's changed.
Now, I do wonder if we start to see a couple of changes on OpTic's side for that flank, because again, we're early in the first half, Ball, and that's the second time we've seen FaZe press that pain point after they've lost control, or excuse me, after FaZe have established control on B.
Yeah. And I think it's because there's a lot of chaoticness from OpTic. Not necessarily, it's controlled from them to execute and retake that small portion in front of the site, right? They use a lot of utility to actually get there. And I think that's definitely something they're talking about in this timeout, right? Try to stop Superman, try to stop Dicey in this situation. And I've got to say, those flanks are working. But the key thing there was FaZe. The flash onto Ye, for example. Yeah. Where Ye was doing something that he had to do, right? He had to try to hold down the market push, because if that market push comes out, he's not there to help Poised at all, or not Poised, Crashies at all, who is stuck inside of B main, and he's getting split on by 2 sides. Yep. So Ye has to find a kill there. He doesn't, and he gets flashed off of the angle completely, because he expects them to do some silly things.
FaZe with a not full buy here, light armor on 2 and 2 Spectres.
Looks like OpTic setting both the KO and the Neon. As Zayd pushes to Wine and gets an easy kill onto Poach.
I wonder
both
how many
those guys
he's gotten already.
It's got to be a few.
Marbach gets cleared. They have a good idea of where Finesse is now. He's going to get pushed off.
Surprisingly, on the topic of openers, these guys are going blow for blow on those first kills. And I've got to imagine it's Dicey who's leading that charge.
Yeah, given the stat line, that is surprising.
Yeah, it's 5-5 in first kills. This isn't that big of a deficit still for FaZe. I mean,
True.
We're approaching the end of the half, and eventually we're feeling like it will be, you know, an 8-4, something like that. But that's not all that terrible, honestly.
Continue to push forward across mid. Baby Bay keeping his way up. He's got the dash ready to go. The paranoia, the fault line, everything thrown their way, and he's got to step back.
It's moments away from not actually being able to dash there.
Yeah. Oh, but you're watching the Marved. The stun was too much. Okay, you've gotten past the first one. Can you get past Ye? 10 seconds left.
10 seconds
He's so
left.
patient. My goodness, he's so patient.
You want to fight it?
And that's a problem too, because Baby Bay was playing mid to cut off rotations. That's no longer a factor. Ye gets a third on the round. It's just down to Superman. It seemed like they had control, and just as quickly as they get it, they lose it. OpTic get to 7.
Big question marks on that round for me with FaZe. As they plant Gen, it looks like they're aware that somebody could be past that line, right? And nobody's stepping forward. But then as the spike gets planted, they then step over the line, which they haven't cleared. They haven't actually cleared Dice. They haven't actually cleared inside of Dark. And Ye takes full advantage. Also doesn't TP after the first shot where he peeks past the Cosmic Divide. Crazy stuff for me to see. And they are broken economically now, so FaZe has to... The good thing, again, they are doing what they've been doing great in the open qualifiers, but I just don't think so far that's actually going to be enough. Because, sure, when they're pushing on one side of the map, Baby Bay is finding rotators, and that's what he did in that round. But they're just too slow to actually recover. He got a kill last round inside of mid. Again, Dicey actually so good at scaling.
Uh-oh. You gotta give it to him. The guy's persistent. Rolling Thunder in his way as he swings around. Finesse cleans that up. And again, we have to remember that FaZe didn't have very much to their name.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Finesse just marvs him. 8-3 here for OpTic.
The patience.
It looks like it's gonna get worse.
The patience there to wait. Dicey peeked past. They saw him twice inside of mid, and they don't yet spring the trap. That's the type of stuff that one OpTic Masters Reykjavik. That's the type of stuff that they've been iterating and getting better at so much. So many teams would just spring the trap and then all of a sudden it's gone. But that also has a lot of staying power, right? They have the reach ult, which a lot of people try to follow up frantically, but then they also have the Neon Conks too, that are just following it up and keeping everybody stunned. Now, fast B for FaZe.
And I wonder if it's just to get the worm into Poise's hands. I think that's exactly what they were trying to do, but both of the openers out for FaZe fall. Hunter's Fury through, and you can look at it on the minimap, friends. OpTic is just starting to wrap around and suffocate the options that FaZe have. They've lost a main control. You still have Ye in your face trying to cause problems. And now
they have top mid control. They have them locked in at this point, Doug. There's no rotating. And the best part about that was Crash is getting ulted by Poach, the Sova ult, and he just cancels it with his own.
It happened so quick, bro. OpTic was just like a flip of the switch. Take everything away from FaZe, including the half. 9-3 here on Ascent for OpTic. FaZe look lost. They didn't find very much success at all. Perhaps the second half will fare better. We'll be right back. We knew OpTic were good. You earned that assumption when you win Masters. The question that we had was, well, how good are FaZe with this new roster, with the Bash Bros of Dicey and Baby Bay? But there wasn't a whole lot to look at there in the first half, Paula.
No, it was just a single side of that duo. And for the duo that has the most percentage of kills for their team out of any team, oh, this is a fast execute.
Look at that, bro. The flash, the double flash, the fast lane, everything.
It's just so pretty to look at, even though it doesn't look like it's really... Okay, they're actually using that as a fake to rotate and catch the people in mid, and they're squeezing with Victor pushing into market. That is beautiful. They're cooking stuff up in the lab left and right. OpTic. And I've said this over already. They're doubling down on what made them good last stage. So far in 2022, it's been, let's really work with our coach. Let's really lead the meta. And let's be flexible in a lot of different ways right here. Victor playing Neon, Yay going over to Chamber. Finesse, most notably, I think, moving off of Killjoy and onto Breach here.
I have no idea. Coach trying to dash around, but the clip runs dry. It's awkward, but Finesse gets it at the end. A 4K to get OpTic to 10.
How do you reload so fast, man? He's
Sleight
got
of
a
hand,
perk.
bro. Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, this is a COD matchup, so.
But you're right, man. You start to look at this team and you look at the brain trust that they've put together with Chet, Finesse, Jovi, like all of these pieces coming together.
Yep.
This is scary.
And I like that they're making upgrades as well. Obviously, Jovi came online at Masters Reykjavik for them, but also just to make sure that's permanent, right? Something that they didn't do last year. Let go of some of their talent. Same look, but this time they're not pushing in through market, and they're just going to take the site. That's something now that you have to expect them to be able to do whenever they do that execute. It could be either a market crunch that's looking like an A execute, or an A execute that's looking like a market crunch.
And that gets so difficult to deal with, right? Because you have to be able to account for both, and it keeps them guessing. Although for now, FaZe is doing okay. Of course,
what is that?
That's, well,
I mean, that's
Neon, right?
Last player standing.
Somehow this gets to a 1v2. Finesse has the an advantage. He's healthy too. He's got to get rid of Poise Spectre. That's the only real threat on the other side. Spots a shoulder, a ponytail. Flash in his face. The spam through it. It's not going to be enough. Poise cleans him up. FaZe are going to get to 4.
What just happened? From this point, OpTic was undefeated on their anti-ecos. They've been clean on them in a sense. And then all of a sudden, 3 of their players just int. Like, that's what I just watched, right?
Yeah.
Victor
I mean, that's what it looked
pushing.
like, yeah.
I mean, I don't. Thank goodness for Crashies to make that even close. Right, getting the 3 kills on the flank, or the 2 kills on the flank, and they leave they leave Finesse in that situation. I mean, that's okay. Well, I think they think the game is over.
It was bold. It was bold.
But newsflash, it's not actually.
They have devised themselves quite the buffer.
I'm out of here.
Still up 6 here. You've got the Rolling Thunder in Finesse's pocket.
They want to get KO's ult up for the next round too. Evidence.
Spike down.
And they'll be able to do so with an orb. But nothing off the barrier.
With the deficit this big though, FaZe have to try to get out of this as cleanly as possible. You already know Baby Bay and Dicey are going to have to rebuy armor, if nothing else. A little bit more, but now the spike comes down. The swing out from Superman at the exact same time. Uh-oh.
I've seen this story before. That Marved was something special on this map.
Yeah, it was.
When it came to 30 rounds at Reykjavik, he was absurd in the clutch. And for good reason. They leave him in so many clutch situations because he's good at that, right? Because he can pull something out of a hat. He's 19-9, and you called out the stat line earlier, but yeah, almost combining for 40 kills at this point between Ye and Marved. Deep into the game, it's not that crazy, but still. When you're going up against the dude, oh, hold on, dude, they're just so interesting to watch.
Oh, Baby Bay. He
He just got through! How did he get through?
And he got tagged up, down to 26 HP. You hear the null command come through. Poise has already fallen as they've taken control of A. There's really nothing close enough to fight back quite yet, so the one exception.
I love how Marved is also mixing in these shrouded steps while the execute is happening, using his ability to really break crossfires, break anything. FaZe didn't have anything on the site, and because there was the Rolling Thunder. So, Knife gonna come back up for Crashes as well, and that could really, really cause problems.
No ultimate to speak of for FaZe with the exception of Blade Storm. Op falls. Yeah, in a good spot to continue to be problematic. Marv close by too, and they're out, man. Save the op. Save as many rifles as you can. This round's a loss.
That's chaotic to start things off. I mean, Baby Bay almost found Victor, but I still... I've watched Neon a lot at this point. Played Neon a lot at this point. And it's still surprising the speed that you get. Baby Bay thought for sure that kill was his. But he was gone in a blink. So, very interesting that he just uses the fast line to cross. Something, again, we already talked about how that A execute that they did, they started off with on pistol round and anti-eco. Disguises as two different things. Here, this wall, they could flash through it. So Baby Bay is actually taking a massive risk outside of being able to hear Victor there, because he doesn't know if there's going to be teammates behind that, KO flashing through, anything like that could be possible.
And I wonder if we see that again, given how OpTic has already shown a tendency to shroud things as much as possible and have more than one option out of a play. I wonder if we see something like that again. That's a good shout.
The other thing you have to consider, I mean, this game already 11-5, 2 rounds until OpTic just takes it down. And there's plenty of time for them to recoup the Breach ult, the Rolling Thunder, or the Null Command.
Yeah. And
both of those are power ults, where if you don't react properly ahead of time, if you're not proactive about it, you just straight up lose the round. So with only 2 rounds to go for them to win, I think they at least have one locked up because of ults, is the point.
And that's assuming everything else goes horribly sideways.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've done well to get to this point. So close to the finish line. There it is. Similar look. Yeah, and the exact same. Nothing, no additional layer to it.
Wait, did Crashy's also knife close cat? So the speed, even though Superman just gets 2 right there, Victor could get... Alright, Spike is down. This is a completely different situation, but look at Victor's position.
Last player standing.
Horizontal.
Flat. He's chalk on the ground.
Yeah, that was an interesting round out from OpTic. I surprised that Superman got away with what he did.
Look, they're clearly experimenting. I mean, some of these ideas, a little. I'm just thinking back to that second round of the second half, where they're just pushing. I mean,
Prime Gaming Flawless comes through for FaZe as they get to 6, and the thing is, FaZe, they're momentum driven, right? Like that's really in their DNA. You get these 2 guys going, you get the team going, and there's no telling what happens. So if you're OpTic here, yes, you've built yourself a very nice lead, but at some point the buck has to stop if you want to secure this map.
well, they're thinking, let's just hit A again. It worked well last time, but they had 2 ults to pair with it. They're just gonna flash, stun the corner, go quick. And they're all blind at this point. Still more flashes to follow up, and they don't know if Victor's actually out past that, so they have to give up the site.
But the thing is, OpTic didn't take it. At least initially, and the Op is still there, up in heaven. Superman on the side to clean things up. It's just Ye left alone in this 1v3 through all of the chaos that ensued. He may have slipped in undetected. Oh, they know now. Couple to the back of the head as FaZe get to 7.
Great stuff from Superman, Dicey, and Poised. Yeah, they eventually all get traded, but I mean, they shut this down beautifully. To fall back originally, then to flash peek with both Supermen, and then a second with the ult from Poised, while Dicey's also swinging rafters. And they re-clear that wall. Very nice. So, OpTic gonna buy up again. It looks like this time they might spring trap with that wall. No, not even using it.
Couple flashes early on. He's in a spot to make something happen. Nobody gets spammed through the smoke. The operator's offline.
Ridiculous from Marked.
That's the problem. Crashies can be 1-2, and here we go. OpTic again, re-establishing control.
I mean, giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Yep.
It's exactly the type of style that FaZe was approaching their attack side with. And they just peek past what would be the trademarks of Dicey, but offline in this situation. So Baby Bay doesn't have anything to even swing off of, and still Ye is also poking on the other side of the map.
One enemy remaining.
Just putting the finishing touches on the round here as Poach falls on top of that. A Prime Gaming flawless to get OpTic to map point. And while FaZe certainly made a run at things, it still feels too far for me to believe.
I know, match point now, where they did have a string of good rounds, so money should be fine.
One enemy remaining.
This is still a 12-7 game. So a lot better, honestly, than I expected when I saw the map, when I saw the comp coming out from OpTic. But it's always refinement from them. So, as we remember, he gets there so fast. Clearing close. And they're getting close to the ults that we keep talking about. But OpTic started off weak in their group, actually, if you remember, last season.
Yeah, 3-2 at the end, right?
They came out with a loss right away against NRG. And they barely, I mean, they made it through with the skin of their teeth. I mean, they had to win their last match. But from there, it's history. They continuously improved map after map, comp after comp, bringing in new maps as well.
As much as OpTic have liked playing fast and doing fun things around Victor and Crashies and Finesse at the beginning of the round, a much different pace here as they slow things down to a creep.
They just wasted the dash. Unbelievable. New patch. Baby Bay tries to activate it. He thinks that it's coming. He feels uncertain. And it's gone now.
30 seconds left.
And they don't even know, but okay. Let's see. 25 seconds. This execute has to be beautiful.
Superman's got to go big here. He's got some cover around him. A good flash initially to keep Dicey off. Superman gets 2. That's massive. And now there's not a whole lot of time left. They're going to have to regain the spike and make a move very quickly. And Bala, I don't know that there's enough. You still have Dicey up top. Heaven. Victor's down. It's all on to Ye. Yeah, it's not going to happen that way. FaZe get to 8.
Mad props to Superman. This defensive side has been all him, honestly. There's the round that he started off in wine. And that's basically where I think the streak started for FaZe. And OpTic and Chet will call a timeout to try to figure out how to wrap this game up. Tie it up. Because FaZe is within 4. It doesn't feel like that, but they are within 4. That is very, very doable. Yeah, look, Superman 12 and 18. A lot of deaths, but that's because he's put himself in positions to really try to gain some space against a team that is consistently countering and taking so much space so easily for free, in a sense, with Victor's high gear.
Yeah, his positioning has been really interesting. You mentioned the wine round. You saw the previous round where he was in tree.
Yep.
Not necessarily expected when you think about an Astra who wants to stay alive and utilize her utility as long as possible to delay, especially a team like OpTic that's been playing at a very fast pace.
I think the interesting thing about it as well is that the duo of Dicey and Baby Bay have been so prolific on this team. Honestly, you can click any of their match pages and look at the stats, and both of those guys at the top, right? Yeah. In any series, they have 54% of the team's kills. That's so much higher than any other duo on any other team. And Superman's just like, well, Baby Bay's not necessarily hitting that same performance, so I've got to step up.
Interesting look here. Victor's used his ult. Nobody playing logs. There is a little bit of resistance on the site. And you see the Cosmic Divide coming through. No command. Follow! It's a narrow angle there. It's not able to convert it. They've established control of B. Now it's going to be on FaZe to try to retake back with nothing but Supermen and poached. Oh boy. Yeah, he ultimately gives the space up, understanding there's still strength in numbers. And they can take this from a really advantageous position. Supermen, they slip the net. Takes care of crashes. But are you expecting Yay? No, they're not. The Rolling Thunder leaves Supermen as a sitting duck as OpTic Maybe it took a bit longer than they thought it would, but finally take care of the map. 13-8 win over FaZe.
And